Hello my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. So if you missed it last week, I posted a video turning colors into characters, and I got like halfway through the main rainbow colors before the video got too long. So this is part 2 to that video, so if you haven't seen part 1, I would definitely recommend you check it out, but it's not necessary. Also, if you're enjoying this video, I would recommend afterwards you go check out another one of my videos. I've got plenty of videos and I'm sure there are some gems in there you haven't seen. So go watch another one. And on with the video. So last we left off, I just finished yellow, so it's time for green. Now when I thought of green, my first thought was like Mother Earth, like greens of plants, trees, things like that. So I made her holding a plant. She has this like earth shirt. Then she's wearing boots because I imagine she's like a gardener. Now, when imagining her hairstyle, I tried to give her dreadlocks, but then I started drawing them and it was taking like 1,000 years and it didn't look good. So I gave up on that and gave her like this more short, I can talk, I promise. But I gave her this more short and like poofy hairstyle, which, probably stays out of her face more. And, having long hair is probably really annoying when gardening. You'll get all in your way, and I may or may not just be justifying my lazy choice right now. But, I think it fits her character more. Also, the right leg is just copy and pasted, so the proportions are pretty weird. Like, it's not that noticeable, but now that I've pointed out, you're definitely looking at it, and it's not right. Then I start coloring it, and I'm gonna be real, I don't like the green color I chose that much. Like, I just really don't like the colors in this drawing, because that basic green color I went for isn't that nice. I wish I'd gone for more of like, I wish I'd done more saturated greens first of all, because they're all very gray greens, which doesn't look great. And then like, I wish I'd made it a bit bluer of a green. But yeah, after the coloring, it was all done and not really fond of it, simply just because I don't really like those colors. Not much else that's that wrong. It's like, it's not bad. Sure, it could be a little more green related. There's really not much that went wrong with this drawing. It's just kind of average. It's just there. There's not really that much to say about it. So I don't really like it. There's just nothing that stands out about it. At least the other ones have like flaws, but there's still like good sides. This just has nothing. So then I moved on to blue, and blue was really easy to like get a concept for, because obviously it's gonna be based on the emotion of sadness. Then I also decided to pull in some water aspects to it. So I was gonna draw her like curled in a ball kind of, and like with this waving hair that's mimicking a waterfall, and obviously crying. And then I gave her this long dress, because I figure, she'd want to like hide, more of a sad, reserved person. So like something that's really big kind of is a way to like physically show that personality in her design. Plus it also like went with the water theme, how it's like long and flowing like water. Also, for some reason, you're going to see me work on purple simultaneously. Well, not simultaneously, but I'll like sketch blue and then sketch purple and then ink blue and ink purple. So we're gonna have to talk about both these at the same time and like go back and forth between them. So purple, I'm not gonna lie, I think this is just a drawing of Perseverance, the Undertale soul. There are green also kind of like treaded into Undertale soul territory. But yeah, no, this one's very blatant. So I couldn't remember what emotion I was even like going for with purple. I thought it was intelligence at first, which didn't make sense. but I think it was curiosity. And I don't know if like my connection between colors and emotions has just changed in the past like month since I drew this or something. But I don't get it. Purple isn't curiosity for me. So for the fashion of this character, it's also kind of like preppy like Orange was. There's sweater vest, very formal. We got some of the Mary Jane shoes or whatever they're called. Classic formal female attire. And then I also had them asking questions because I guess only one of them's a question though, so I don't know how this was supposed to be curiosity. Intelligence makes more sense for the drawing but doesn't make more sense for the color. I'm confused. Then I also gave them glasses because obviously every smart person wears glasses. And I made their design fairly angular because I wanted it to be like sharp and cold, kind of like I imagined their personality to be. Like I imagine them being a very cold and calculated person, very, what's the word? Not dense. Like brutally honest. What's the word where you like don't hold back? Blunt. I imagine them to be very blunt. And I think all those personality traits are shown well through like a fairly sharp and angular design. So after sketching all that, we bounce back to blue. And I don't know what it was about lining this drawing, but it was like kind of scary. I think part of it is that it's like a very blown up image because the sketch was fairly small. It was the same like proportions as all the other drawings. But this character was in a pose that's like half the size. So I blew up the sketch so it would fill more of the page. And that makes like all the small lining details more noticeable. So any little shakes, any problems are much more apparent. Also like the legs bending underneath the dress are kind of like unclear. I don't know. I didn't draw that part very well. Like, I feel like I'm missing some extra lines there or something to show that shape, but I don't know what it is that I'm missing. Also the way that the shoulder and the arm are like bending around for the left arm is also just ew. No. And I feel like the left curve of the hair also like juts out too much. I'm really just dragging this one. I really hate this one. It was not a fun process. But then we bounce back to purple again. And purple, I was having a lot of fun with because I really liked the fashion there and the haircut. And, sometimes when you're designing a character, you accidentally just draw what you like. And I think that kind of happened with purple. Purple's line art process was pretty simple overall. I did copy paste the leg, which I keep talking about not wanting to do, but I'm lazy. Then there's some issues with the eye. Like, I don't know. There's just something that's off about the left eye especially. And then the hair on the left side also might be too thick because of the perspective. Should be thinner, but it's not really. And also the right arm's definitely too thin. And the speech bubbles are very shaky. But compared to blue, it's really not that bad. Then, you guessed it, we bounce back to blue again. So I gave them a dark blue dress, some light blue skin, and then like a mid-tone hair. Then I put white around those like curls so it mimics water foam. Because that was my whole idea with the, hair and those curls to make it all like very reminiscent of water. And that was pretty much it. I didn't put that much effort into this, especially in the later stages, because I didn't like it. I really didn't. This one's my least favorite. So we're just gonna move back onto purple and talk about that one. This one I really love. I already talked about how I kind of think I just drew what I wanted for purple. And I was even putting effort into like giving this sweater a pattern and little details like that. I really like this one. I love the fashion. It might be my favorite. Not my favorite design because I feel like red was the most accurate one, but I do think the drawing itself is my favorite. And then I was done with all of them. Now this one is a bit on the shorter side, but if you did like it, then make sure to like the video, comment down below, follow all my social medias. Most importantly, subscribe, because most videos aren't very short. And you can go watch some of my other videos that I've made if you feel like this video wasn't long enough. And I will see you all next week.